Hi, welcome to Kevin's Classes. Today we got a special treat for you, which is Brookfield's book, The Skillful Teacher. In this book, there's a specific quote that I really resonate with, which says, simply having experiences does not imply that they are reflected on, understood, or analyzed critically. Individual experiences can be distorted, self-fulfilling, unexamined, and constraining. It pretty much says if our ideas are unreflected and unchallenged, then are we truly learning? Just simply having experiences doesn't enrich our lives. We have to think to ourselves, why was it meaningful to us, and how has it changed our perspectives to where we are today? Also, what are our biases involved, and are we open to having them challenged? Do you recall when you were a child, you were asked to reflect on what you want to be when you were older? Either a doctor, a police, or a firefighter, maybe even an astronaut? And then in high school, you were asked to do the exact same thing, and you'll notice that what you want to be when you're younger is different than what you want to be then. Chances are they were different. It's because the experience in our lives have subconsciously shaped our interests and goals. The main difference is that as children, we looked for guidance from our immediate family, which is our parents and our siblings, maybe sometimes even your extended family, like your cousins. And then as we grew to teenagers, we kind of drifted away from that and seeked more acceptance from our peers. I find it really interesting is that adults don't really reflect enough on what is controlling their attitudes and their beliefs. Unlike children or teens, adults have full autonomy on their peers as well as their goals and who they want to be in life. It is this autonomy that makes us attached to our experiences as well as our beliefs. And for them to be wrong can be extremely painful. But it is because we are responsible for our beliefs that we must reflect on them more. Under Maslow's hierarchy, the need to self-actualize is actually stated at the top, which is the realization or fulfillment of one's potential. Psychologist Carl Rogers also stated that for one to be self-actualized, they have to be congruent in who they are and who they want to be. The reality of congruency is that it requires a lot of patience and practice, as well as the need to be challenged to match your goals with your sense of self. You will see individuals make claims and prejudice statements in their own group of friends, and then completely be a different person in a different environment. It is that fear that leads them to be incongruent and develop a false sense of self through situational confidence. As we get older, two things happen to us when our world solidifies from any unchallenged biases that we may have. We either become bitter because our view of the world becomes lopsided and negative, or we become consumed by our own ego and then become angry when our authority is challenged. Both of these create a false sense of self-actualization because your sense of talent and potential are not recognized by society. This is why the reflection of your experiences through yourself and your society is so important. For you to reach self-actualization and actually satisfy the needs of yourself as a human being, you must be open to the pain that is reflection. I feel this quote brings modesty back to the teacher, especially in specific cultures where elders and teachers are seldomly challenged. This can be a very dangerous ideal that can lead to a lot of misinformation. In today's society, we lean towards ideas that agree with our own, and we solidify our beliefs from the groups that we associate ourselves with. This is why it's more important now than ever to open them up and look for different perspectives. However, I do think that is more difficult today just due to our political climate. In closing, as an instructor, especially a corporate one, we are expected to be champions in the values of our corporation, as well as pass them on to the next. Being in the industry, we will often form biases from our own personal experiences from working, whether that be positive or negative. And we have to really stop and think about that. Because we have to really ask ourselves, is it true? Is it relevant? And will it help my students self-actualize to be a better employee? And most important, will it help them become a better individual to society? This has been another round of Kevin's Classes. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you next time.